Tommy, what in the world did I see on this episode of NXT? I'm talking about that video package with the Vanity Project at the bowling alley. Like, okay, this is the go home show to NXT, right? And to hype up their match, well, two of their matches, Jackson Drake is going to wrestle at Heatwave. So is the Vanity Project in a tag team title. Their idea of hyping up a match for themselves at a PLE is to go to a bowling alley and do what? What was was that the other girl that was in this video package? She was like some type of like NXT announcer of some sorts, right?
Yeah, she's one of the backstage reporters.
Okay, so they went to the bowling alley for with a backstage reporter, and it looked like what they were trying to what was the point of this, Tommy? Please help me understand this goddamn video package that we saw.
It seems that they were attempting to do what they did with Out the Mud a couple months ago.
Okay, so just to get to know them better behind the the behind the curtain type thing or whatever.
It seems to be that a little bit, since they claimed that was their favorite spot to go to, a fucking bowling alley for some reason. It's not a wrestling rink. So, like, there's that. But their main thing for that was to go, hey, these two don't know each other as well as the four of us do. We live with each other, sort of.
You know would have been a lot better instead of doing that for Jackson Drake. They should have played that clip that's been going around the internet of him 14-year-old Jackson Drake wrestling 14-year-old Javon Evans. Did you see that?
I have not seen that at all, but I kind of wish I have, judging by just your reaction to it just now.
I sent it to you, motherfucker. What you mean? You don't watch the clips
Did
that I
you?
send you, Tommy? Yes, you asshole.
No, oh, it's because you sent that while I was watching the show. So I
Oh,
saw it
okay.
and then just completely forgot to watch it.
Yeah, they should have played that instead and be like, see, my name is Jackson Drake. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. And look at me now. I think that would have been more interesting than this fucking video package that we saw. We saw a few video packages on this episode of NXT. Because this is the go home show to Heatwave, which we will be doing predictions for that here in a bit. Zilla Fatu had a video package, but his video package was really good. Who else did we see besides Zilla? They played one for Zaria, I believe, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe they played one for Zaria. I believe they also played one for Kelani Jordan.
There you go. Yeah. So I was like, okay, they're gonna give us a lot of good stuff here to hype us up for Heatwave. And there was a lot of good stuff, but man, some of that stuff was questionable. But anyway, welcome back everybody to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. I'm the host. Today we will be going over the go home show of NXT plus Heatwave predictions because Heatwave is this weekend. This weekend is going to be full of pro wrestling because we got Heat Wave. We also got Mexican Heat Wave, aka Triple A's Ola de Calor. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a fun weekend. Tommy, how are you doing, bruh?
Yeah, I am doing good. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit shocked at what match they started the show off with, because I started the show and then all of a sudden the weaponized cage match is the thing that starts the show off. I'm like, wait, what? That's how we're starting this? Is
Yeah.
this absolute like insanity of a match? So other than that, like the show itself is great.
They started off with the bang. Yes, the weaponized cage match between Dion, Lennox, and Saquon Shugars. A long, long, intense feud. And it was only right that the big blow off match, the finale, to this program ends in a weaponized cage match. But before we get into that, Tommy, I have a lot of thoughts about this match, but I want to hear what you think first before I go into mine. So we're going to start things a little bit differently today. Get us started. Tell us what you thought about this weaponized cage match that we saw of the opening of this episode of NXT.
Dude, this match was absolutely insane with like all of the action that we got in there. Obviously, there are going to be spots where WWE just loves to go, hey, look, this is a cool spot. That ending was that really, really cool spot because it was Saquon Shugars going to the top and then doing a damn, like, he like jumped off of it. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this man's height on that had to hurt like hell. There was
it was
one
basically
spot,
across. It was basically a cross body, right, from the top of the cage.
yeah, there was one spot that I looked at him like that's probably not how that was supposed to go, which was when Dion Lennox was laying on the table and then all of a sudden the table just collapsed just from him laying on it. Like, I thought there was going to be more to that table just to break it like that, but it did collapse, it seems, prematurely. But other than that, this match was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, I did like this match, but however, this is one of the reasons why I don't like these types of matches because a lot of things can go wrong, Tommy. And everything that could go wrong felt like it went wrong in this match. But I do give both of these guys a lot of credit because they still managed to make it work. They kind of fix those things that were going wrong. They fixed them like really quickly on the fly. Like they were able to make it work somehow, right? Because Dion Lennox was like trying to do these weird things with the fence where he was trying to set up the chair like diagonally and then it kept falling off. He tried setting up kendo sticks, they weren't staying. You know, they were trying to set up a lot of spots and it just seemed like it just didn't work for whatever reason. If they rehearsed it or not, maybe it worked during rehearsals, but while they were doing it live, nothing seemed to be working, even down to the table spot. I'm pretty sure the finish was supposed to be Dion Lennox was supposed to be laying on the table, and Saquon was supposed to splash him from the top of the cage through the table, 1, 2, 3. But before Saquon can get to the top of the cage, Dion Lennox was laying on the table, and the table just fucking breaks. It didn't hold Dion Lennox because Dion Lennox was apparently too heavy for this fucking table, this wobbly ass, flimsy ass fucking table. But they made it work, man. They called shit on the fly. Dion Lennox stood up, and the big finish was a cross body from the top of the cage. Now it looked cool, but it wasn't the most impressive finish out of modern day cage matches that I've seen, right? But the match was still really good. So I do give them props for that. But there was even a spot where I noticed Saquon was like throwing Dion Lennox against the cage. And Dion Lennox basically threw himself against the cage. Like Saquon had already let him go. And Dion just launches himself and it's just like, oh, that was awkward. You know, you can hear the fans kind of like, you know. But yeah, I don't know if it was maybe these guys were just moving way too fast or they were really excited during this match. I don't know, but good match, but a lot of things went wrong here, Tommy. Anything else you want to add? Oh, by the way, Saquon, he did pick up the win. Um, I think the right guy won here. I mean, we were all pulling for Saquon. He needed to get his comeuppance. So he wins this big match versus his former partner. What do you think happens now, Tommy, when it comes to Saquon or Dion or the Dark State in general?
I have a feeling like Dark State may be trying to go after those tag titles. Like, whether they change hands or not on Sunday, it's right there. Like, they are former tag team champions, so it's a possibility they could go after them. But I already have my thoughts on that, but we'll get to that here in a bit.
All right, let's go. One more match was added to NXT's Heatwave this weekend. Natty versus Jada Parker submission match, right? So Natty, the low-key legend, hits the ring and she cuts a promo on Jada Parker. Natty claims that she went to NXT specifically wanting to wrestle Jada Parker because when she sees Jada, she sees someone who's a good wrestler, who has all the potential, but Jada wastes that potential. And Natty is the best thing that's happened to Jada because Natty brought the best of Jada as of recently, right? Jada was losing a lot of matches until Natty came in. Jada stepped up her game and defeated Natty. So Natty wants Jada to admit that Natty is the best thing that ever happened to her. Jada comes out and she says, no, you're not the best thing that's happened to me. Matter of fact, you're just trying to ride my coattails. You just see a young hot star like myself on the come up and you want to attach yourself to me like a fucking leech, right? Something like that. But then she thanks Natty. Jada Parker says, thank you, Natty, because I found myself because of you. And I was like, okay, so you just said you disagreeing with her, but then you just agreed with her. But okay, whatever. So then Natty goes, all right, fine. Let's settle this at Heatwave, but I want you in a submission match, bitch. It's like, oh, every time someone says bitch in the WWE, it's like, oh, you know. So it's serious now, Tommy. It's serious now. Natty called Jada a bitch, and we're going to see this at Heatwave. Thoughts on this?
Thank you, Natalia, for reminding Jada Parker who she is. And you may call her a bitch, but the truth is, she is that bitch. Like, she is coming for you easily. Like, I have a feeling like this will be a full-on war. So there is that. Jada Parker is 100% ready. I have been saying it for months. I feel like Jada, even though she hasn't won any gold in NXT, I still feel like she's ready for main roster. Like, with everything that she's put in, I feel like if they put her on the main roster, it would be so good for her. But we've got that submission match on Sunday. Natalia may be a submission specialist, but she hasn't seen anything from Jada Parker yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that match here more in a bit. But first, we got to talk about our hometown hero from Sacramento, California, good old Cam Hendricks, went one-on-one versus Keanu Carver. So we got two monsters going one-on-one. And I was like, bet, I want to see this match. I'm ready for this match. Keanu Carver, he's been acting really weird lately. He's been acting like a normal person, which is not really what we're used to seeing from Keanu Carver as of late. And Keanu Carver wants to pick up more wins to get to some type of title contendership. So he wanted a match versus Cam Hendricks, and he got it. And the match was pretty good for the short amount of time that we saw it, up until Mason Rook came out and attacked Cam Hendricks. What is Mason Rook's obsession with Cam Hendricks, Tommy? Because I call shenanigans on this. How are they going to do my boy Cam Hendricks dirty like that? He was having a great match versus Keanu Carver, had the match in his hands. He was about to win. He was in full control. And here comes Mason Rook, good for nothing Mason Rook, sticking his nose in other people's business and cost Cam Hendricks the match. Thanks to Mason Rook, Keanu Carver got the win over Cam Hendricks, Tommy. This is some bull.
Well, Mason Rook and Cam Hendricks have been having a rivalry for the last couple of weeks. So that's why Mason decided to attack Cam Hendricks, in which I feel like Cam would have had it if it wasn't for Mason Rooks. Like, it's Cam Hendricks. This man apparently can heal at light speed, because that North American title shot that he got, oh, I'm only 69%. Never mind, I'm 129%. Like, this man can heal at light speed, apparently. But this match overall was a decent match, but I feel like it didn't really do much for Keanu Carver.
What makes you say that? Because I think they got the point across. Keanu Carver got a win, and he's one step closer to getting a title shot.
Yeah, but all of that character development that we got from Keanu Carver instantly went back to default settings as soon as he got to the back with Stone. Because Stone had a little bit of a conversation with Keanu Carver and going, dude, what was up with Mason Rook interfering in this match? That's called cheating. And his response is, yeah, a win's a win. That's it.
Yeah.
A win's a win. So all of that development just went right back to zero.
All right, fair enough. Okay, we had the big matchup between Zaria versus Kelly Armstrong. And if Kelly Armstrong wins, then she gets added to Heatwave. The unification match would turn into a triple threat match. And god damn it, that's exactly what happened. Zaria is a women's North American champion. She's a beast. She's a freak athlete, but so is Kelly Armstrong. So I knew this match was going to be really, really good. But there was, I kind of agree with a lot of the stuff that the fans were saying online after this match is, how are you going to pin your North American champion clean before she defends the title at a PLE, in this case, Heatwave, right? Because Zaria was about to win it. Zaria catches Kelly Armstrong with a massive spear. Boom, the fucking spear looked great. And then Zaria goes to pick up Kelly Armstrong to hit her with their finisher, which is basically an F5. Kelly no-sells the massive spear and hits a surprise roll-up on Zaria and just pins her. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I'm kind of glad Kelly got the win. I'm a fan of Kelly, but goddamn, bro, like, I felt kind of, it just felt weird seeing Kelly no-sell Zaria's spear, which Zaria has defeated a lot of people with that spear, and then just pinning the North American champion like that. It was kind of like, what the fuck, you know? But also at the same time, I mean, I kind of figured that they were going to add Kelly Armstrong to that match at Heatwave, but what did you think?
I feel like the wrong woman won. I love Kelly Armstrong. I really, really do. But you just pinned your North American champion less than a week of her defending it. What the fuck were you thinking, NXT? Makes no damn sense on that. You just pinned your champion and she's just about to defend it. That's my biggest problem with this. I feel like it should have stayed a one-on-one, because this entire story has been, who is better, Zaria or Ren Sinclair? Who's the better champion? But now you're just shoving Kelly Armstrong in a story where she didn't need to be. And that's my problem.
Yeah, and like we said before, we are going to be doing predictions on the match card for Heatwave here in a bit, so we will get back to that. Because we also had an 8-man tag team match, the BirthRight, which is Lexis King, We got Charlie Dempsey and the two other guys from the BirthRight who I can't remember their fucking names right now to save my life. Do you remember their names? Sean Connors is one.
Yeah, I know it's Sean Connors, Charlie Dempsey, and Lexus King. I cannot remember for the life of me who the fuck that fourth guy is.
He used
Because
to
I
be
know
Tony D'Angelo's
the other one is Ariana Grace that's in there. But I just cannot remember who the hell the fifth guy is.
It's like he has like some weird name. I can't believe I forget it. He used to be with Tony D'Angelo. It's like Dax or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay,
I guess it's
got it. It's Lexus King, Charlie Dempsey, Connors, Ariana Grace, and Stax.
Stacks. There you go. I knew it was something ridiculous like that. Anyway,
Channing Lorenzo is who it is.
huh?
Channing Lorenzo. But for some bizarre reason, they've always been calling him Stax.
Yeah, that's what I remember him as from when he was even with Tony D'Angelo when he was in the Italian mob gang of goons. He was Stacks. But yeah, anyway, they wrestled Noam Dar, Romeo Moreno, DVD, and Sean Legacy. DVD is the guy that the NXT fans are gravitating to the most out of all of these guys. Like, DVD was over throughout this whole entire match. This is an 8-man tag match. I don't know why they did it, but they did. And it was bodies galore flying everywhere. And everyone did a bunch of cool stuff to each other, but it was just a match full of crazy spots. What am I missing here, Tommy?
Overall, to me, it was a great match. I'm not surprised that BirthRight won. It was action packed and quick, like WWE loves. But I feel like this is going to do wonders for the 8 men that were involved, especially with BirthRight, because we literally just said that there's always one member in that group that we completely forget that clearly needs a little bit more to him, that being Stax. But one of the spots that I absolutely love is when that middle rope is being used as like a catapult, where you've got one guy like right in the middle of the ring and then the other guy just launches him right off. Like, I absolutely love that spot. It looks insane, and just the risk of it is insane as well.
Speaking of insane, Rey Fenix showed up on NXT to defend his AAA Cruiserweight Championship, and Rey Fenix has been all over the place, man. Rey Fenix has wrestled in AAA. He literally wrestled on Raw the night before this versus Dragon Lee, and they had a crazy ass match, like probably the match of the night for Monday Night Raw as far as this past week goes. And then they were in Canada on Monday Night Raw. The next day, literally the day after that, Rey Fenix had to fly from Canada to Florida to defend his title match in another crazy ass match versus EK Prosper. Like, we all know what EK Prosper could do in the ring. He's young, he's hungry, he's athletic, he's high flying. So he was going to put Rey Fenix to work in this match, and he did. Yeah, this match was, again, kind of like the 8-man tag team match. Bodies flying everywhere, high pace, high flying, exciting, all that good stuff. But Rey Fenix hits EK Prosper with the Mexican Muscle Buster, retains the AAA Cruiserweight Championship, and he gets Rey Fenix gets another title defense under his belt. But I got to give Rey Fenix his props, man. He's really putting in that work in the WWE.
Yeah, did Prosper win? No, but I'm telling you right now, being able to keep up with somebody like Rey Fenix, like EK Prosper did, is going to do so much for this guy, because he just proved that he can keep up with some of the fastest guys on main roster TV, which means it's only a matter of time before he is called up, because I would not mind seeing matches with EK Prosper against like Penta and a bunch of other people. But unfortunately, with his retention, this tells me one thing, and it's something that we already knew, that unfortunately, Rey Fenix is not winning this tournament, and it's going to end up being Penta versus Roman Reigns for that world title in Mexico City.
All right. Well, I know who is winning, and that's all you coffee drinkers out there. This episode of Snug Wrestling is brought to you by the Strong Coffee Company. They make premium instant coffee blends for people who want convenience and great taste. So if you are a everyday coffee drinker like myself, you want to drink the good stuff. You want to drink the Strong Coffee Company. Their black fair trade instant coffee delivers a bold, smooth flavor while packing 15 grams of high quality protein, 5 grams of MCTs, and 250 milligrams of adaptogens. Or, if you're not really into the dark stuff, the super strong stuff, like, your black coffee, they also have something creamier. The Strong Coffee Company lattes combine organic Arabica coffee with protein, collagen, and all the healthy stuff to help fuel your mind and body throughout the day. It's quick to prepare, easy fit into your busy schedule, or if you don't have a busy schedule, um, you can easily make this stuff and go about your business. It tastes like a traditional cup of coffee, but it has all that good stuff that's going to keep you sharp and focused and ready to take on the day. So use the promo code SNUG at checkout, receive 20% off your order. That's promo code SNUG for 20% off at Strong Coffee Company. All right, Tommy. The final segment of NXT, usually, we're used to seeing like some type of contract sign in or a face to face to build up a match. But for NXT, they had something called the Heatwave Summit. Now, I don't know if this is something that they usually do, but I got to be honest, this is the first time I see something like this go down before a PLE. And basically, what a summit is we see not all of the stars that are going to show up on Heatwave, but a lot of them. Because first, this summit began with the women's NXT champion, Kendal Grey, alongside Ren Sinclair. And Kendal Grey cut a promo. It was a good promo, just reminding people who she is, where she came from, and what she's all about, right? I came from Evolve, nobody knew who I was, and now look at me, I'm the top of the women's division on NXT. She made a name for herself, and she also took a shot at some unnamed champions over in the main roster that says, I'm not the type of champion that's going to hold this championship for over 100 days. I'm going to defend mine, which got a nice little pop. And then she gets interrupted by Kelani Jordan, Zaria, Callie Armstrong. These are all women we're going to be seeing this weekend at Heatwave. Then Grayson Waller comes out. Then Tony D'Angelo. Then Cruz Montana. Also guys that we're going to see at Heatwave. And we can't forget about Zilla Fatu. The 4 men and the 4 women all break into one huge brawl. And we get a little taste of the chaos and the stuff that we might see at Heatwave this weekend. But what did you think of this here summit, Tommy?
We knew that there was going to be chaos, and it had almost no chaos the entire show until this moment. Because this entire segment was chaos galore. I do love that little dig from Kendal Grey, clearly calling out Liv Morgan and the fact that she went 100 days without defending that world title. So clearly she's got some problems with the main roster girls a little bit. So I'm telling you, when she's called up, her versus Liv, I wouldn't mind that. Just saying. But every promo was pretty damn good. I do love the fact that Zilla Fatu didn't even need to talk because Montana already put out all of the chaos all at once and went, hey, y'all are here to talk. I'm not. Let's go. So
Yeah.
Cruz had to pull that out. And I will gladly say it from the top of my damn lungs. That NXT title looks damn good on Zilla Fatu. It really does. When he got up on to that ring post and held up that title, first thing that popped into my head was, damn, that belt looks good on him. Like, I want to see Zilla Fatu as NXT champion.
Well, since you already brought it up, let's get into predictions for this weekend, Tommy. The NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way match, Tony D'Angelo is the current champion versus Zilla versus Waller versus Cruz, Montana. I think you already told us your prediction. You want Zilla to win this, right?
As much as I would love to say Zilla, because, like I said, that title does look good on him, I think it's way too early. He just came in a couple of weeks ago. Unless they're going to randomly go, hey, you're a massive star. We're going to instantly put that title on you. I just don't see it happening. So if I had to go anywhere between the other three, I think the more realistic option is probably a retention from Tony D'Angelo.
Well, you said it. It's way too early, but then again, it's way too early to even have Zilla Fatu in the championship match already. It's his first title. It's his first match, and his first match is a title match. So I think we're far beyond, hey, it's way too early for anything at this point. Just put the title on Zilla Fatu because Zilla Fatu has proven to be doing numbers for the WWE on social media already. They pointed it out in that video package that they played that he did all these millions of numbers, blah blah blah. And a lot of the things that WWE does, for example, the people that they push, you know, they have matches with like people like Danhausen and all these people. It's because of the numbers that they do, either selling merch or on social media. So if that's the case, I'm pretty sure Zilla Fatu has them all beat. So it would make sense to just put the title on him, make him the champion, and build the shows around Zilla Fatu at this point. Because if that's what's going to make numbers, that's what's most likely the WWE is going to do. So I feel like, man, I mean, if we have to really talk about probably the only other one that gets attention like Zilla Fatu right now is probably Cruz Montana. But I think Zilla Fatu is going to win it, man. For good or for bad publicity, if Zilla Fatu wins, some people are going to be mad. Some people are going to be happy. But people are going to be talking if Zilla Fatu wins. And let's be for real. They are competing against AEW All In. And if they want to compete with that, they have to do something crazy. And if putting the title on Zilla Fatu is probably the craziest thing to do here. I think we're going to get a new NXT champion at Heatwave. All right, let's move on. Women's NXT Championship, Kendal Grey versus Kelani Jordan.
Kendall's been through worse. Just in this title reign alone. Because just competing in an underground match against somebody who has been undefeated in the underground, that being Lola Vice, just that alone was intimidating as all hell. And she still ended up winning and retaining that NXT title in the underground with a fucked up ear. So if she can do that, I'm going Kendal Grey to retain. Because I just, as much as not Kendall, as much as Kelani loves to go, oh, I never had an NXT title shot. I've never been NXT champion. Guess what? You're finally getting your shot. So you can shut the hell up even if you lose.
I forgot about the whole ear thing. That's right. Kendal Grey is still injured in story after her underground match versus Lola Vice, and one would think that might go into play this weekend on NXT, and that could be Kendal's out if she gets defeated by Kelani Jordan, but they haven't really done anything to make me think Kelani Jordan actually has a chance. I respect what Kelani Jordan has done on NXT these few years. This is her first title shot, but I think NXT's major focus right now is on Kendal Grey. I don't think it makes sense for Kendal Grey to lose, like you said. Kendal Grey has gone through a lot more. I mean, she survived the underground versus Lola Vice with a broken freaking ear. Why not do it again at Heatwave, right? All right, the match that was recently announced, the submission match between Natty and Jada Parker. This one's going to be kind of hard to predict, Tommy. Now, one would say the submission expert here would be Natty, right? Who you got?
I mean, yeah, there is that, but at the same time, Jada Parker's been down there for a bit. So she's clearly learned a thing or two about a thing or two. It's just going to happen while you're down there. So I think that if anything needs to happen, Natalya's got to put Jada over even more. Because, like Natalya said, before Natalya came in, she was losing after losing after losing all the damn time. So I'm going with Jada Parker to beat Natalya.
I'm with you. I'm with you with that on that one as well. Okay. Let's go with the triple threat unification match, Ren Sinclair, Callie Armstrong, and Zaria. They never actually said if unification means they're just gonna make one belt out of this, right? They didn't even clarify that really, right? So now you got Callie Armstrong in this thing. And I gotta be honest, Tommy, going into this, I was like, it doesn't matter. Zaria is gonna beat she's gonna win. She has to win. There's no way Ren Sinclair right now is going to defeat Zaria. But after seeing Zaria get pinned a few days before Heatwave, now I'm not as confident anymore when it comes to Zaria. Because if she can lose to Callie Armstrong, then she can lose to Callie Armstrong and Ren Sinclair. So it's like, what do you think is going to happen?
This one is a little bit difficult to call because for the longest time, my thought process was that Ren Sinclair was losing that title. That the Ren QCC would only come back with one title out of this. But now you have to factor in Callie Armstrong, somebody who has been absolutely brutal, like in Evolve and here on NXT. So overall, I think the real battle is going to be between Callie and Zaria, especially after what happened last night. So now I'm a little bit less confident in it too. Maybe she can pull it off and retain her speed title and gain the North American. Because if she can do that, I'd be shocked, but I would love it.
Yeah, after seeing the match between Callie and Zaria, I think Zaria needs to make up for that loss. I think Zaria has to win at Heatwave. Because I mean, I think Zaria right now is the bigger star, man. Unless they decide, hey, we're gonna put our focus on Callie Armstrong. I think out of the three, I don't see Ren Sinclair winning, man. I mean, she's good as Kendal Gray's friend or valet, but I think as far as like star power and like standout performers and just people that just I guess, are more interesting, I think Callie Armstrong and Zaria has to be one of them two, man. But a lot of people like Ren Sinclair. I don't see it. I don't. Sorry. Um, so I'm gonna go with Zaria. All right, the next two matches are the matches with Myles Borne. Yes, Myles Borne is going to be pulling double duty at Heatwave. And this was kind of addressed during a backstage video package where they were talking about the order of the matches, right? I think Tavion Heights was talking about, oh, we should do the tag team match first or something along those lines, right? So I think my predictions may change depending on how this goes, because if the tag team match goes first, then I think Myles Borne has something to worry about when defending his North American Championship versus Jackson Drake, right? So let's assume, Tommy, let's assume that the tag team match is before the North American title match. So let's go with Myles Borne and Tavion Heights defend the tag team titles versus the Vanity Project.
I'm going to put both of my predictions in one because I have already stated this before. I think Myles Borne only walks out with one of those titles. And if I had to choose for one of those titles that he keeps, I want it to be the tag. I want him to retain the tag titles and then lose that North American to Jackson Drake. You and I have both said that Jackson Drake versus Myles Borne has been a match that we have been wanting for a long while. And now we've got it. And it's for the North American title, and Myles is pulling double duty. I think at this point, give that North American title to Jackson Drake and let them keep the tag titles.
I would like to see Jackson Drake be North American champion, but there was something that Tavion Heights said on the Go Home episode of NXT that really stood out to me in a backstage segment. Tavion Heights said, if we lose these tag team titles, I don't know what I would do. Which kind of makes me believe if they were to lose, Myles Borne and Tavion Heights were to lose the tag team titles, Tavion Heights could turn on Myles Borne. Would that be a story that they could tell if, say, for instance, Myles Borne were to defeat Jackson Drake, retains the North American title, goes into the tag team match, they lose the belts, and then we have Tavion Heights turn on Myles Borne, which could eventually lead to another title match between Tavion Heights and Myles Borne.
I would love that, but I feel like it's too early for them to lose those titles because they've only had those titles for a couple of weeks. So if I'm going anything, I still feel like they should retain the tag titles.
Fair enough. Well, that's what's going to happen at Heatwave this weekend. For one, I'm really pumped for this weekend full of wrestling. But that's going to do it for us for today. That was the NXT Go Home Show review with the Snug Wrestling crew and NXT Heatwave predictions. Tommy, anything else? If not, let's dip on out of here, bruh.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was this episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast, where we went through NXT and our predictions for Sunday for Heatwave. You can catch us every Monday right after Monday Night Raw, every Wednesday for NXT, and next week as well, we will be doing predictions for Sunday night's main event. So you're going to be getting a twofer next week. You've also got Sunday for Friday Night SmackDown as well. You've also got that Thursday one-on-one on TikTok Live with our glorious leader Snug and Mr. Blood as they go through current and relevant wrestling topics while also answering your fan questions live. Go get your merch. That is at tpublic.com/snug_wrestling. That is TEE public.com/snug NXT Wrestling. Stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. That was one time for the one time. 4 letters, one word. Yeet.